Have you ever wondered why some men seem to naturally attract women while you remain invisible? Imagine walking into any room and feeling every woman notice your presence. I'm not talking about cheap tricks or manipulative techniques that work once and then backfire. I'm talking about a complete transformation that will make you irresistibly attractive to the women you truly desire. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the secrets the seduction industry doesn't want you to know. Secrets that will transform you from an average guy into a man-women chase. Before we begin, I want you to understand one thing. What I'm about to share isn't another one of those miracle methods that promise overnight results. It's a proven system based on advanced psychology and years of human behavior studies. A system that has already transformed the lives of over 3,000 average guys into masters of seduction. Think about this. You're at a bar. You see an amazing woman across the room. Your eyes meet. Instead of nervously looking away or freezing up, you feel a wave of confidence flow through your body. You know exactly what to do, what to say, how to move. You cross the room with a presence that makes everyone notice. And when you reach her, the words flow naturally. There's no anxiety, no fear of rejection, just a genuine magnetic connection she can feel instantly. Sounds impossible? It's not. This is exactly what I'm going to teach you today. The first principle you need to understand is that attraction isn't a conscious choice. Women don't wake up in the morning and decide, today I'm going to be attracted to a 5'9" guy with brown hair. Attraction happens on an instinctive, primitive level. It's a biological response to certain triggers that have been programmed into the female brain for thousands of years. And when you understand and master these triggers, you can activate them ethically and naturally. Let's start our transformation journey right now. First, let's unlock the code of magnetic confidence. Confidence is the foundation of everything. Without it, no technique, no strategy, no pickup line will work. But I'm not talking about that fake confidence many coaches out there try to teach. I'm talking about authentic, unshakable confidence that comes from within. The truth is, 87% of communication is nonverbal. This means that even before you open your mouth, you're already communicating volumes about who you are, your value, and your status. Your body speaks much louder than your words. Think about the men you know who are successful with women. What do they have in common? It's not physical beauty, it's not money, it's not height, it's presence. It's the way they occupy space. It's the way they move with purpose. It's the way they maintain unwavering eye contact. Now I want you to stand up if you're sitting. Go ahead, stand up right now. Feel your feet planted firmly on the ground. Straighten your spine. Slightly drop your shoulders and open your chest. Breathe deeply. Feel the air fill your lungs. Now, look straight ahead, as if you're looking at the horizon. This is the posture of a confident man. This is the first step to reprogramming your body, and consequently your mind. Did you know that scientific studies prove that just 2 minutes in this posture increases testosterone levels and decreases cortisol levels, the stress hormone? This means your biochemistry literally changes, preparing you for social success. But magnetic confidence goes beyond posture. It manifests in your voice, your tone, your speaking pace. A confident voice is deeper, more paused, more deliberate. Speak as if every word carries weight, as if you had all the time in the world. Don't rush, don't seek approval. Communicate with clarity and authority. Practice this every day. Record your voice. Listen, adjust, repeat. In just a few weeks, you'll notice a dramatic difference, not only in how people respond to you, but in how you feel about yourself. Now let's move to the next level. Powerful eye contact. The eyes are truly the windows of the soul. When you maintain strong eye contact, you communicate interest, confidence, and intensity. But there's a thin line between powerful eye contact and a fixed, intimidating stare. Here's the golden rule. Maintain eye contact 90% of the time when you're listening and 70% of the time when you're speaking. This creates a dynamic of intimacy without seeming threatening. And when you break eye contact, do it slowly, to the sides, never downwards. Looking down communicates submission. A confident man is not submissive. Practice this with everyone. Not just women you find attractive, the grocery store cashier, the waiter, your co-worker. Make powerful eye contact a habit, not a technique you turn on and off. And here's an advanced technique few people know, the triangular gaze. Instead of continuously fixing your gaze on the person's eyes, subtly, alternate between their eyes and mouth, forming an invisible triangle. This creates a subtle, almost imperceptible tension that is incredibly attractive. So far, we've talked about how to physically carry yourself, but magnetic confidence also manifests in your decisions, in your actions. A confident man makes decisions with clarity and conviction. He doesn't sit on the fence. He doesn't outsource his choices. When you're out with a woman, don't ask, "What do you want to do?" That communicates indecision. Instead, say, "I know an amazing place 2 blocks from here. Let's go." Lead, decide. This doesn't mean being controlling or ignoring her desires. It means taking responsibility for the date, for the experience. Have you noticed how women are attracted to men who know what they want? It's almost magnetic. When you live with purpose, when your actions align with your values and goals, you naturally become more attractive. It's not something you do to impress. It's something you are. And this brings us to a fundamental concept, the abundance mindset. Most men approach women with a scarcity mindset. They act as if that specific woman is their only chance at happiness, their only option. This creates immense pressure and communicates desperation, and desperation is the kryptonite of attraction. The abundance mindset, on the other hand, starts from the principle that there are countless amazing women in the world, that your options are vast, that you have value to offer, and the right woman will recognize it. This mindset removes pressure, eliminates the fear of rejection, and allows you to be authentic. How do you develop this mindset? Start by expanding your social circle. Meet new people regularly. Not just women you find attractive, but people in general. Every new connection opens doors to other connections. The more people you meet, the more opportunities naturally arise. Invest in your self-esteem as well. Make a list of all your qualities, all the things you're grateful for, all your accomplishments. Read this list every morning. Feed your mind with positive thoughts about yourself. Your self-image determines how you present yourself to the world. Now I want you to pause this video for a moment and reflect. What would your life be like if you incorporated these principles? If magnetic confidence became an integral part of who you are, imagine the possibilities. Take a moment now. If you're enjoying this information and want more content like this, click the like button right now and subscribe to our channel. Also, hit the notification bell to receive notifications whenever we publish a new video. Now let's move on to the second fundamental principle, the art of hypnotic communication. If magnetic confidence is the foundation, hypnotic communication is the structure you build upon it. It's through words that you create emotional connections, spark interest, and generate deep attraction. But here's the inconvenient truth. Nobody tells you. Women don't care about what you say. They care about how you make them feel. You can memorize hundreds of approaches, dozens of funny stories, countless conversation techniques. But if you can't create a genuine emotional connection, none of that matters. Hypnotic communication isn't about manipulation. It's about creating a positive emotional state and associating that state with you. It's about making her feel curiosity, intrigue, excitement, comfort, all just right. Let's start with the most basic principle of attractive communication, using statements instead of questions. Most men bombard women with questions. Where are you from? What do you do? Do you come here often? This creates an interview dynamic, not a seduction dynamic. Instead, use statements and assumptions. You seem like someone from New York, but I bet you weren't born there. You have an artistic vibe, maybe a photographer or designer. This creates engagement, sparks curiosity, and makes her want to correct or confirm your assumptions. Another powerful technique is what I call stories with purpose. We all love stories. Our brains are wired to pay attention and connect through narratives, but the stories you tell shouldn't be random. Each story should communicate something about you indirectly, without sounding like you're bragging. For example, instead of saying, "I'm very adventurous," tell a brief story about that time you impulsively decided to travel to an unknown place and ended up having a life-changing experience. The story demonstrates that you're adventurous without you needing to explicitly state it. Develop a repertoire of 5 to 7 short stories, each highlighting a different quality. Practice them until they flow naturally, but never sound rehearsed. The third technique of hypnotic communication is the conscious use of your voice. It's not just what you say, but how you say it. Vary your tone, alternate between speaking louder and softer. Sometimes lower your voice to almost a whisper, forcing her to lean closer to hear. This creates physical and psychological intimacy. Use strategic pauses. Silence, when used correctly, is a powerful tool. It makes your words have more impact. It creates suspense. It allows her to process what you've said and want more. The fourth technique is what neuro-linguistic programming experts call mirroring rapport. It involves subtly aligning your behavior with hers. If she speaks slowly, slightly reduce your pace. If she uses certain gestures repeatedly, naturally incorporate them into your own communication. If she crosses her legs, wait a few seconds and do the same. This creates an unconscious feeling of familiarity and comfort. Her brain registers, "This man is like me, he understands me." But be careful, this must be done subtly. It's not obvious. Mimicry. It's a natural harmonization that happens when you are genuinely attuned to her. Now let's move on to the fifth and most powerful technique of hypnotic communication: emotionally deep questions. After establishing basic rapport, you can deepen the connection with questions that go beyond the superficial. Instead of, "What do you do for work?" ask, "What led you to choose that career?" Instead of, "Do you like to travel?" ask, "What trip transformed your view of the world?" Instead of, "What are your hobbies?" ask, "What makes you lose track of time when you're doing it?" These questions evoke emotional responses, reveal values, and create genuine connections. They show that you're interested in getting to know her for real, not just in conquering her. And when she responds, practice active listening. Maintain eye contact. Don't interrupt. Don't just wait for your turn to speak. Absorbs what she says. Respond to the emotional content, not just the words. "It sounds like that experience was really important to you." Or, "I can feel how passionate you are about that." This combination of deep questions and genuine listening creates a level of emotional intimacy few people experience on first dates. And when you offer this kind of connection, you instantly differentiate yourself from all other men. Another crucial element of hypnotic communication is the strategic use of humor. Laughter releases endorphins, lowers barriers, and creates positive memories. A man who can make a woman genuinely laugh is already halfway there. But don't confuse humor with rehearsed jokes or clowning around. True humor arises from the moment, from sharp observation, from clever irony. Don't be afraid to gently tease her, to create a playful tension dynamic. For example, if she says she's a perfectionist, you can respond with a smile. "Ah, so I should expect you to critically analyze everything I say and do. I guess I'll need to be on my best behavior." This creates a fun dynamic without being offensive. Finally, learn the art of storytelling. A good story has conflict, emotion, and a point. It doesn't need to be elaborate. It can be something as simple as an unusual encounter you had on your way to work. The important thing is how you tell it. Use sensory details. What you saw, heard, felt. Create images in her mind. Vary your pace. Fast-paced during action moments, slower during tension moments. Use your voice as an instrument. Higher, lower, deeper, higher-pitched, depending on the moment in the story. Practice telling stories to friends, family, colleagues. Observe their reactions. Learn what works, what keeps attention, what creates connection. Over time, hypnotic communication will become second nature. You won't need to consciously think about it. It will flow naturally from you because it will have become part of who you are. But remember, the most powerful communication comes from a place of authenticity. All these techniques work because they allow you to express your true essence in a way that resounds with women. They aren't masks you put on. They are skills that reveal the best of you. If you've been following along and are determined to master these skills, leave a comment saying, "I'm committed." Your public declaration of intent will significantly increase your chances of implementing what you're learning. Third, let's uncover the female attraction triggers. This is possibly the most important and least understood principle of seduction. For thousands of years, the female brain has evolved to respond to certain male traits and behaviors. These aren't cultural preferences or passing fads. They are biological responses deeply rooted in the female subconscious. When you understand and activate these triggers, attraction isn't something you need to chase. It happens naturally, almost inevitably. The first and most powerful trigger is social dominance. I'm not talking about being aggressive or intimidating. I'm talking about demonstrating natural leadership, inspiring respect, having a presence that commands attention. How do you demonstrate social dominance? Through micro moments of leadership. When in a group, be the one who takes the initiative. Let's head to that bar. This place is too loud. I know a better spot 2 blocks from here. Simple decisions, but they show you're in control of the situation. Observe how the most respected men in any group behave. They don't talk loudly to be heard. They don't constantly interrupt. They speak when they have something relevant to say, and when they speak, everyone listens. Another aspect of social dominance is how you interact with other men. Women pay close attention to how your social circle treats you. If other men respect your opinion, joke with you without putting you down, seek your approval, this immediately communicates high social value. Cultivate solid relationships with other men. Create a strong social circle. This will not only enrich your life, but also amplify your attractiveness. The second attraction trigger is protection. Biologically, women are attracted to men who can offer security in a potentially dangerous world. This is programmed into their DNA. How do you demonstrate this capacity? You don't need to be physically imposing. It's a matter of attitude, posture, how you navigate the world. For example, when walking down the street with a woman, instinctively position yourself between her and the street. When entering an unfamiliar environment, be the first to enter, subtly assessing the space. These small actions communicate protectiveness without words. Another aspect of protection is emotional. When she shares vulnerabilities, how do you respond? The man who offers emotional security, who doesn't judge, who understands, who validates her experiences, deeply activates this attraction trigger. The third trigger is social pre-selection. Women are strongly attracted to men that other women find attractive. It's an evolutionary shortcut that says, if other women approve of him, he must have valuable qualities. How do you use this trigger ethically? It's not about displaying conquests or lying about relationships. It's about naturally demonstrating that you are comfortable and confident in female presence. Have genuine female friends. Interact naturally with women of all ages. When a woman sees that other women feel safe and valued in your presence, without obvious sexual tension, it communicates volumes about your character. The fourth trigger is directed ambition. Women are attracted to men who are actively building something greater than themselves, who have direction, purpose, vision. It's not about money or status, although those can be byproducts. It's about passion, dedication, determination. A man passionate about his project, his cause, his art, his career, exerts a powerful magnetism. What is your purpose? What drives you? What are you building or creating that has meaning for you? Find that. Immerse yourself in it, communicate it through your actions and words. Attraction will come as a natural consequence. The fifth trigger is what I call quiet competence. Women are attracted to men who are good at what they do, whatever it is, and who don't need to boast about it. Develop real skills. Become excellent at something you value. It could be playing an instrument, playing a sport, cooking, fixing things, programming, writing, anything. What matters is the excellence and passion you dedicate. And when you master this skill, you don't need to announce it from the rooftops. Let it be discovered naturally. There's something incredibly attractive about a man who is surprisingly good at something unexpected. The sixth trigger is emotional intelligence. In a world where many men are emotionally obtuse, a man capable of understanding, articulating, and navigating emotions, both his own and others, stands out immediately. Cultivate self-awareness. Learn to identify what you feel and why. Develop emotional vocabulary. Be able to express your inner world without discomfort or shame, and most importantly, develop genuine empathy. The ability to feel what another person is feeling, to see the world through their eyes, is possibly the most seductive skill a man can cultivate. Finally, the seventh and most powerful trigger Calibrated unpredictability. Humans are attracted to mystery, to the unknown, to what they cannot fully predict. Many men make the mistake of being completely predictable. They are always available, always obvious in their intentions, always following the same pattern. This kills attraction before it even begins. Calibrated unpredictability means surprising positively. It's the unexpected text. It's the spontaneous gesture. It's changing plans for something more exciting. It's leaving her wanting more, curious about what will come next. It's not about games or manipulation. It's about keeping freshness, novelty, and mystery alive in the interaction. These 7 triggers, when activated correctly and consistently, create a level of attraction that goes far beyond physical appearance or material status. They speak directly to the primitive female brain, creating an almost magnetic attraction that she herself may not fully understand. And the best part, by cultivating these qualities, you don't just become more attractive to women. You become a better man in all aspects of life. If this content is opening your eyes to possibilities you've never considered before, give it a like right now. And if you know a friend who could benefit from this information, share this video with him. Sometimes all we need is someone to show us the way. Fourth, let's move on to the component that ties everything we've learned so far together, the mastery of escalation. You can master magnetic confidence, hypnotic communication, and attraction triggers. But if you don't know how to properly escalate an interaction, you'll get stuck in pleasant conversations that never progress to something more. Escalation is the art of moving an interaction forward, naturally, organically, and always respectfully. It's knowing exactly when and how to increase sexual tension, physical proximity, and emotional intimacy. The first principle of effective escalation is what I call 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Many men try to constantly push forward, creating pressure and potential discomfort. The most effective strategy is to advance, slightly retreat, and then advance again. For example, you lightly touch her arm during the conversation, step forward, then remove the touch and continue talking normally, step back. A few minutes later, you lean in closer to whisper something in her ear, 2 steps forward. This pattern creates a dynamic of tension and release that is incredibly attractive. The second principle is accurately reading signs of interest. Women rarely verbalize attraction in the initial stages. Instead, they communicate through subtle signs you need to learn to identify. Some of these signs include: she frequently touches her hair, fidgets with her glass or bracelet, leans in towards you when you talk, asks personal questions to get to know you better, laughs at your jokes even when they're not that funny, finds reasons to touch you, maintains prolonged eye contact, makes comments about your lips or neck. When you identify several of these signs, it's a strong indication that she is receptive to escalation. The third principle is contextual escalation. Different environments require different approaches. What's appropriate in a bar at night might not be appropriate in a coffee shop during the day. In nighttime social settings, escalation can be more direct, more physical. In daytime or professional environments, escalation is more subtle, more verbal, more focused on creating a connection that will continue later in a more suitable context. Learn to calibrate your approach according to the environment. Always respect the social norms of the context you're in. The fourth principle is verbalizing the tension. Often, naming what's happening creates instant intimacy. There's something about you that intrigues me. I've noticed I can't stop looking at you. There's an interesting energy between us. Do you feel it? These statements bring to the surface what you're both feeling, but perhaps not expressing. It's a powerful form of escalation that can open doors to a deeper connection. The fifth principle is creating moments of privacy. Even in social settings, find ways to create bubbles of privacy where intimacy can flourish. This can be as simple as taking her to a quieter area of the bar or out to the balcony or terrace to get some air. These micro-isolations allow the dynamic between you to evolve without the pressure of external eyes. The sixth principle of effective escalation is what I call questioning leadership. Instead of explicitly asking for permission, which can break the moment, ask questions that guide the interaction where you want to take it. For example, instead of saying, "Can I kiss you?" say, "Have you ever found yourself wondering what our first kiss would be like?" Instead of "want to go somewhere quieter," say, "Do you know that bar on the next corner? They have the best drink in town. Let's go there." These questions lead while still giving her space to choose. If she's not interested, she can simply not engage with the question without awkwardness. The seventh principle is touch with intention. Touch is one of the most powerful forms of escalation when done correctly. Start with socially acceptable touches on the arm, shoulder, back, and observe how she responds. If the response is positive, gradually evolve to more personal touches on the hand, hair, waist. Each touch should have a purpose, a contextual reason. It shouldn't feel forced or random. And remember, if at any point you sense discomfort or reluctance, back off. Respect is the foundation of any successful interaction. The eighth principle is creating bridges to the future. These are seeds planted during the current interaction that create natural reasons for a next date. For example, during the conversation you discover she loves jazz. You mention a great jazz club you know. "You have to check that place out. The atmosphere is incredible. We should go sometime." This creates a thematic bridge to a future date. Or maybe you discover a common interest in a certain type of food. "I know the best Thai restaurant in town. You won't believe the flavors. I have to take you there." These bridges make the invitation for a next date natural and contextual, not forced or generic. The ninth principle is intentional polarization. At some point, you need to make your romantic or sexual intention clear to avoid the dreaded friend zone. This doesn't mean being crude or overly direct. It means communicating through words, looks, and actions that your interest in her is more than just friendly. An effective way to do this is through specific intentional compliments. Not "you're beautiful," generic, heard 1,000 times, but "there's something about the way you smile that fascinates me," or "the way you use your hands when you talk is mesmerizing." These specific compliments communicate close observation, genuine interest and attraction in a way that's hard to ignore or misinterpret. Finally, the 10th principle of effective escalation is knowing when to stop. Sometimes, the most powerful strategy is to leave her wanting more. There's an art to ending the interaction on a high note, when the connection is strong, the conversation is flowing, and the attraction is palpable. Ending at that moment, instead of waiting until the energy naturally dwindles, creates a powerful desire for continuation. I loved our conversation, but unfortunately I have to go. We should continue this soon. And then leave. Leave her with that feeling that something special was prematurely interrupted. Master these 10 principles of escalation, and you'll never again get stuck in interactions that don't move towards where you want them to go. But remember, true mastery of escalation comes from combining technique with sensitivity. It's knowing when to advance, when to retreat, when to pause. It's reading the moment and the person you're with. And above all, it's always respecting boundaries, expressed or perceived. The best seduction is one where, at the end, both feel they participated in a dance where every step was taken by mutual choice. If this content is transforming your understanding of interactions with women, subscribe to the channel right now and hit the notification bell. We're just scratching the surface of what's possible when you truly master the art of seduction. To wrap up, I want to share the 5th and most important principle, the authentic seducer's mindset. Everything we've discussed so far, magnetic, confidence, hypnotic communication, attraction triggers, escalation mastery, are techniques, tools, skills. But what truly separates extraordinarily successful men with women from the mediocre ones is the mindset. The authentic seducer's mindset is founded on a few fundamental principles I want you to deeply absorb. First, attraction isn't a conquest, it's a mutual discovery. When you internalize this, the whole dynamic changes. You stop seeing women as prizes to be won and start seeing them as partners in a shared experience. This removes pressure, eliminates performance, and allows for genuine connection. It's the difference between trying to impress and simply expressing who you are. Second, rejection isn't personal. It's simply information about compatibility. When a woman doesn't show interest, it's not a judgment on your value as a man. It's just an indication that at that moment, with that specific person, there was no resonance. The most attractive men in the world get rejected regularly. The difference is they don't internalize that rejection. They don't turn it into a story about their worth. They recognize it for what it is, a non-event, a non-compatibility, and move on. Third, abundance is a state of mind, not an external reality. Even when you don't have many objective options, the abundance mindset can be cultivated internally. It's the certainty that there are countless possibilities, countless amazing women, countless chances for connection in the world. It's knowing that scarcity is an illusion created by fear and insecurity. Cultivate this mindset consciously. Challenge scarcity thoughts when they arise. Remind yourself of all the possibilities that exist and that you haven't even found yet. Fourth, true power comes from radical self-acceptance. Knowing your strengths and embracing them, recognizing your weaknesses and working on them without judgment. Accepting your history, your body, your personality. When you accept yourself completely, something magical happens. You stop seeking external validation. You stop needing women to fill a void. You become complete in yourself. And ironically, it's precisely in this state of completeness that you become most attractive. Women sense that you don't need them, and that paradoxically makes them want you more. Fifth, success with women is a consequence, not a goal. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, on building a rich and meaningful life, on developing character and integrity, attraction comes as a side effect. The most attractive men I know don't spend hours obsessing over seduction techniques. They're too busy living extraordinary lives, pursuing bigger purposes, cultivating deep connections, experiencing everything the world has to offer. And women feel that. They sense that these men have something special, something that cannot be faked or forced. They are attracted by the gravity, solidity of who they are. Sixth, authentic vulnerability is strength, not weakness. Most men hide their insecurities, their fears, their doubts. They believe that to be attractive, they need to appear invulnerable. But true human connection, the kind of connection that leads to the deepest and most meaningful relationships, only happens when there is mutual vulnerability, when there is the courage to show who you really are, with all imperfections and insecurities. This doesn't mean using vulnerability as manipulation or emotional dumping. It means being authentic, being real, not hiding behind facades and performances. Seventh, patience is a powerful virtue in seduction. Most men are so anxious to get to the result that they sabotage their own journey. They rush, they force, they try to control. The authentic seducer understands the power of timing. He knows that each interaction has its own rhythm, its own cadence. He appreciates the process, enjoys the dance. He's not obsessed with the destination. And, interestingly, it's this patience, this lack of pressure that often accelerates the process. When a woman feels you are present, that you are simply enjoying being with her without a hidden agenda, she relaxes, opens up, allows herself to feel attraction. Eighth, continuous learning is essential. The authentic seducer never thinks he's made it. He's always learning, always growing, always refining his understanding of women, relationships, and himself. He reads, observes, asks, experiments. He treats every interaction as a learning opportunity. He analyzes what worked, what didn't, and adjusts his course. This commitment to continuous growth ensures that he is always evolving, always becoming a better version of himself. Ninth, ethics are non-negotiable. The authentic seducer operates from a personal code of conduct that prioritizes respect, honesty, and integrity. He doesn't manipulate, deceive, or pressure. He understands that true seduction isn't about getting something from someone, but about creating an experience where both participants feel valued, respected, and desired. This ethical foundation isn't just the right thing to do, it's also the most effective approach in the long run, because reputation matters, because karma exists, because the way you treat people eventually comes back to you. Finally, the 10th principle of the authentic seducer's mindset. Joy and lightness are irresistible. So many men approach seduction with excessive seriousness, unnecessary intensity, with heaviness and drama. The authentic seducer brings joy to his interactions. He has fun, he plays. He doesn't treat every encounter as a life or death mission, but as an opportunity to share pleasure, laughter, and positive experiences. This lightness is incredibly attractive. In a world where many people are overwhelmed, stressed, stuck in negative patterns, someone who brings light, joy, and spontaneity immediately stands out. These 10 principles of the authentic seducer's mindset, when truly internalized, transform not just your interactions with women, but your entire life. Because ultimately, true seduction isn't something you do, it's something you are. And when you become a man who embodies these principles, you don't just become more attractive to women. You become more effective in your career, deeper in your friendships, more meaningful in your contributions to the world. This is what I call the holistic approach to seduction. It's not a technique, it's not a strategy. It's a way of being in the world that naturally attracts people, opportunities, and experiences. Now, if you're wondering where to start, here's my suggestion. Choose one principle, just one, from this video. The one that resonated with you the most, that seemed most relevant to your current situation. Focus only on that one principle for the next 7 days. Practice it consciously. Observe the results, then choose another, and so on. This gradual, consistent, focused approach is much more effective than trying to implement everything at once. It's like building a building. Brick by brick, foundation first, then the walls, then the roof. In 6 months, you'll be a completely different man. In a year, you'll barely recognize who you were before. In 5 years, you'll look back with astonishment at the journey you've traveled. And along the way, you'll discover that the real gift wasn't the women you attracted, although that's wonderful. The real gift was the person you became in the process. Because ultimately, the greatest seduction is the one we perform on ourselves, seducing ourselves into becoming higher, more authentic, more magnetic versions of who we truly are. If this video brought any value to your life, please leave a like, share it with other men who could benefit, and subscribe to the channel for more content that will transform your relational life. Until the next video, remember, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take that step today.